guys, it's Janice. Welcome back to my channel. I know this is a little bit creepy, but today we're doing a What's on my iPhone 11 video, so let's get started. The case on it right now is a clear one from Amazon. I'll link a similar one in the description box below. When it comes to organizing my phone, I try to keep all of my apps on one page to reduce the time spent on finding apps. So I've sorted certain applications into labeled folders, which I'll show you in more detail later. On the dock, I have some frequently used applications. So that would be Phone, Safari, Messages, and Spotify. One cool thing that I wanted to show is this website where I generate the fonts from my folders. It's called LingoJam, and you just input whatever text you want and it'll show up in a bunch of different font styles and designs. This would also be really handy for Instagram if you want a unique looking bio. So that's what I did for my folders here. So I use Spotify on the daily for listening to music. I can't live without this app. I'm just gonna pop in here and say that I also have my podcast on it, which is called 100%, and it's about dealing with being a student. I'm slowly adding new episodes if you guys want to follow. I'll put the link in the description box. One of my favorite Spotify playlists is the Chill Hop Radio. I use this very often when working on stuff and doing exam reviews. At the top here, I have Google Calendar. So I don't use Apple's calendar because I'm so used to Google, and I like how the information is displayed on it. I might try out the Apple Calendar at some point, but right now I'm very happy with Google's calendar. If you've watched my simple organization system video, then you know I also use Google Keep, which I love because of its simplicity but ability to organize your to-dos and reminders. It also syncs across devices, which is a huge bonus. For your own convenience, you can also add Google Keep as a widget, so that's what I'm showing here. I also have Google Drive, and this is basically like the airport hub of all my files. It's where everything goes in and everything comes out, and also how I access files on different devices. I've been using this system since my first term of nursing school, and now that I'm further into the Apple ecosystem, I could probably try something else, but right now I'm really happy with Google Drive. So I'm not going to show you my photo album, but I did want to show this album where I keep all of the wallpapers that I found on Pinterest. I'm currently using this moon and star wallpaper, which again I've linked in the description box below. For my new semester, I'm trying out Notion. I'll probably have a separate video on this, but what I'm essentially using it for is for organizing my courses and storing all the syllabi and assignments. It's really fun to use with all the emojis as well. I'm also doing a master schedule using Notion, where essentially I'll be putting down important dates and labeling them with different tags. The next app is obviously Instagram. I'm super active on there. I have lots of highlights where I detail what I use, and I also have some downloads on there as well. The next app is Reddit. I like going on here because some of the posts are really entertaining, but there's also informative ones. Of course, I take what I read with a grain of salt. I do also post occasionally on Get Studying and iPad. So now let's get into these folders. The first folder is the Apple folder. So I store a lot of the stock Apple apps here because otherwise they clutter the screen too much. Some of these I haven't even touched at all. The only thing that I use on here is probably Apple Podcasts. Mine is also available here if you want to check that out. When I purchased the iPhone 11, I also got 1 year free of Apple TV. However, I've yet to activate it, but I am looking forward to it. Please let me know if you have any show recommendations. Next is the Tools folder, which is where I store the voice recorder, compass, measure, calculator, clock, and weather. One of my favorite tools is actually the Power Thesaurus, which is probably the best thesaurus that I've ever used. It's crowdfunded, so there are a lot more suggestions, and they do give you phrases instead of just single words like thesaurus.com. Next is my school folder for nursing school. I basically store shortcuts to my school logins. I have Google Spreadsheets on here mainly to access my active recall spreadsheets if I need to. The other app in here is called Study Bunny, which is a study timer app similar to Forest, and you earn coins to raise a bunny. I named this bunny Scruff. It's a free app, and I think you earn your coins just by studying a lot, and you get to feed your bunny and buy it nice things. It's really cute, and I'm so excited to try this in my new semester. The next folder is the Janus Studies folder, where I store apps that I use to manage some of my social media. A neat app here is Preview, where you basically get to plan out your Instagram feed before you post anything, and you don't need to connect an Instagram account. Next, I have YouTube, of course. If you'd like to see more content from me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell as well. I also have Twitter for Janus Studies, however, I'm not super active on it, but if you do want to follow me on it as well, it's Janus Studies with 2 S's. The next app is Anchor, which is where I host my podcast. My next folder is the other folder where I put all the food apps, movie apps, and a bunch of other random stuff. I used to use Starbucks a lot, but I stopped going as often because it did get expensive and then I lost all my stars. As I said, Pinterest is where I find most are actually all of my iPhone wallpapers. Lots of nice aesthetic ones with purpley pink skies and clouds, so I've been saving a lot of these images onto my phone to use later in the future. Next, I have Amazon Prime Video. I get this with Student Prime, which is a really good deal. If you guys have any show recommendations from Amazon Prime, please let me know in the comments. The next folder is the shopping folder where I store all the shopping related apps. This first app is called Flip, and it's an app where you can browse a lot of local flyers and clip items to a shopping list for your convenience. I also have Amazon, which I love. Prime shipping is super convenient, but I do have to hold myself back from buying stuff. Also, while scrolling through, I was immediately attracted to this laptop bed table. It looks really good for studying in bed, but I probably don't need it. AliExpress is my go-to shopping place for super cute and cheap items. The only downside is that they do take forever to arrive from China, and sometimes they don't even arrive. Similarly, I also use eBay for cheap and cute items, but recently I found that AliExpress has nicer things at better prices. The last folder is the photography folder. I currently use Adobe Lightroom to edit my Instagram pictures, and I'm so much happier with the quality of my images since getting this phone. I also use Unfold sometimes for my Instagram stories, not all the time, so there's actually nothing on there right now that I could show you. And lastly, this is my control center. So I added several toggles on here, including the dark mode toggle, low power mode, alarm clock, and also screen record. So that's pretty much what's on my iPhone that I only got not even a week ago. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in my next video.